I dropped my visceral fat from an 8 to a 7 in just 5 days. And before you say, well, that's no big deal, let me explain why this matters. Most people think that visceral fat's just belly fat. It's not. Visceral fat's the dangerous fat that wraps around your organs, your liver, your intestines, your pancreas. It's hidden deep inside your body, and it's quietly increasing your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and inflammation. And the crazy part, you can have a hard beer belly and still have lots of visceral fat, because visceral fat isn't squishy, it's actually hard. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly what I did over those 5 days to drop my visceral fat a full level. And I'm gonna show you why this happened way faster than you would think. Okay, before I show you what I did, you need to understand what visceral fat actually is. Because if you don't understand the two types, none of this will make sense. Think of your body like this sausage casing. Meat inside represents your organs and your muscles. Now there are two different types of fats. Number one, you have your subcutaneous fat. That's the fat you can pinch on your arms, your love handles, your thighs. If this sausage had subcutaneous fat, it would have butter smeared all over it. That would be the subcutaneous fat. If we put butter on this actual sausage, you'd see it immediately. It's right there on the surface. And number two is the visceral fat. This is the fat that lives deep within inside your belly. If this sausage had visceral fat, it would be like the fat that's mixed in with the meat before they put the casing on. You can't see it from the outside, but it's taking up space on the inside. And it's pushing outward on the casing, making the whole thing bigger and firmer. Well, this is a small sausage. That's what visceral fat does to your belly. And here's why that's dangerous. It's constantly releasing inflammatory chemicals into your bloodstream. It interferes with how your body processes sugar, like mine, I'm pre-diabetic. It raises your cholesterol. It increases your risk for heart disease. But here's the part most people don't know. And this is why I was able to drop from an 8 to a 7 in just 5 days. Visceral fat is actually the first to go when you start eating better. Let me say that again, because this is the most important part of the video. While your love handles and your belly pooch could take months to burn off, visceral fat responds in days, not weeks, days. Now here's why. Subcutaneous fat, you know, the pinchable stuff that you can grab right here, it's like a storage unit that your body uses only when it's desperate. But visceral fat is metabolically active. It's constantly being broken down and rebuilt. So when you create a calorie deficit, your body's gonna pull from the visceral fat first because it's the easiest to access. Now, the Omron scale that I use to measure my visceral fat measures it on a scale of 1 to 30. 1 to 9 is normal and healthy. 10 to 14 is high and you're in the warning zone. 15 to 30 is very high and you're in major health risks at this point. I was an 8. It's still healthy, but I just wanted to get it down a little bit. So like I said, I am pre-diabetic. Now here's what actually happened when I dropped from an 8 to a 7 in just 5 days. The scale uses something called a BIA. It sends tiny electrical measurements throughout your body and just measures the resistance. The more visceral fat you have wrapped around your organs, the more resistance that current, that electrical current going through your body will have. So when I dropped a level in 5 days, I didn't like drop a whole level of just like pure fat. That would be impossible. But here's what I did. I lost water weight, I reduced inflammation in my gut, I de-bloated my internal organs. And the scale saw that change and recalculated my visceral fat downward 1 level. Now the question is that a real win? Absolutely, yes it is. Because reducing water retention and reducing inflammation around your vital organs is exactly what you want. That's literally your body getting healthier. And here's the best part. Once you start this process, the actual fat starts coming off too. Visceral fat is the first domino to fall. The subcutaneous fat, you know, the stuff covering your abs, that's the last to go. But if you're consistent, visceral fat will keep dropping every week. So let me show you exactly what I did to trigger this drop. And by the way, if you want to track all this yourself, your food, your steps, your calorie deficit, I use the Lose It app. I made a full tutorial on how I use it without losing my mind. I'll link that in the comments of this video. All right, here's what I did over the 5 days leading up to Thursday morning when I weighed in at a 7. I tracked every single thing that I ate in the Lose It app, and here's the pattern. 4 out of the 5 days, I was 200 to 300 calories under my daily budget. Saturday was 336 calories under. Sunday, 215 calories under. Monday, 156 calories under. Tuesday, 316 calories under. Wednesday, well, I went over by 205 calories that day. Sometimes you get hungry, you know? And did it ruin everything? No, absolutely not. Because I wasn't trying to be perfect, I was just trying to be consistent. On average, I was in a 250 calorie deficit per day. And that's exactly what you need to do to lose visceral fat without starving yourself. Now here's what I was eating. Real food, egg whites, veggies, chicken, rice, beans, protein shakes, even some Cheerios and some graham crackers. I have 3 kids. I wasn't doing like meal replacement shakes, not some crazy detox, just normal food that I tracked. And here's what I was doing for movement. Some days I walked on that treadmill right there. Other days I did strength training right over here. And some days I just chased my kids and did chores around the house. The point is I moved every single day. And by Thursday morning, when I stepped on the Omron scale, boom, 7. That's the power of consistency over perfection. So if you want to lower your visceral fat, here's the exact system you can follow. Step 1, of course, is get a scale that actually measures your visceral fat. This is the Omron scale. I think I got it on Amazon for $80. It's not too expensive, and it gives you a baseline so you know what you're starting with. Step number 2 is start tracking your food. Use the Lose It app. It's so much better than MyFitnessPal. Yes, you can use MyFitnessPal if you want, but I'm telling you right now, the Lose It app is so more intuitive. It just makes tracking so much easier because you need to know if you're actually in a calorie deficit. You don't want to be guessing at this. Step 3 is you need to move more. I'm not telling you need to go run marathons or something. I think a good number to start with is try to hit 7,000 steps a day. My goal currently is 12,000 steps. Take your kids to the park, go walk your dog, just take a walk after dinner. If you find yourself sitting down, think of reasons why you should get up and go for a walk. Step number 4 is cut the liquid sugar. Soda, juice, alcohol. These are the primary drivers of visceral fat. Cut these out and your visceral fat will drop faster than anything else. Step 5 is sleep 7 to 8 hours a night. High cortisol levels from lack of sleep tells your body to retain visceral fat. You cannot out-diet bad sleep. Get your 7 to 8 hours and boom, that's the system. It's not complicated, it's rather simple, but it works. So I dropped my visceral fat by 1 level in 5 days by eating in a calorie deficit, moving, and tracking everything in the Lose It app. Now, if you want to see the exact system I use to track my food and lose 1 pound of fat per week like clockwork, watch this video next.